So I just learned how to hook up my camcorder to my computer. Well, I didn't really learn how, I just never really did it before. But for my birthday, which was a couple weeks ago, I got Sony Vegas, which is a really good digital or editing software, so I got to play with that all during this video. And just, I'm actually recording in the program right now, so that's kind of interesting. It turned out well. And I also found out that this is wide angle, so I'm not too sure what that means on uploading into YouTube-ish type things, but maybe you can see a wide angle version. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Anyways, today I wanted to, this will be the first of the Kaylee, what did I say? Story time with Kaylee? Actually, this would be a bedtime story because I'm almost going to bed. It's like 10 o'clock. Yes, I know. I'm quite the wild one. Going to bed, 10 o'clock. On a Monday, it's a work day. Anyway, so my story begins. Sounds like I'm talking to myself. This is really awkward when you live with people. Anyway, so what my story entails is, one day I was with a really good friend, actually two really good friends. One of them is my brother. We were driving around in my old, what do you call that damn thing? Oh God, big damn car. That is what it was. It was my first car ever. And it used to have a pole that I'd have to stick into the back to have the trunk. It was a station wagon, so it had like this latch thing for my back, and I had to have a pole. It was a metal pole. And the pole was always loose in the back, and so anyways, so my brother is in the back, and we're in a very fairly popular city in the world, and we're driving around, and there's crazies all over where I live. I mean, there's crazies all over where you live, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, so this particular day I got a taste of really crazy people. So I was pulling up to this light, I've only been driving for about a year that time, so I was fairly new, but I didn't know what I was doing, and so I was into the left turning lane, and you know, you gotta wait for the oncoming traffic to go before you go. And so there's this very antsy person behind me, and he's honking his horn and blah 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 blah, and he spins right around me, and almost gets freaking killed by turning left. He literally was behind me in the left lane, turning lane, and he turns around me and goes to oncoming traffic and scoots up ahead. And what was funny was the light, you know, turns so I can turn. I had a go ahead green, and so I make my safe turn and everything, and we ended up right beside each other. And so this genius friend of mine, great guy, big mouth, gives the guy the finger while we're driving past him. I'm like, oh my God, don't do that. I'm driving. I'm going to be the one who's being road raged at. And so, anyways, so I gives the guy the finger, and then we end up right beside each other at the stoplight. And so what happens next was one of the most wild things I've ever encountered a human do. That guy who's driving in the other car gets out of his car. We are at a 4-way intersection with probably 2 lanes in each side. So it was a big intersection. This guy gets out of his car and comes up to my friend's window and starts, you know, hounding, get out of the car, get out of the car, I'm gonna beat your face and blah 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 blah. And I'm panicking. And my brother's in the back seat, and he's friggin' searching for this metal pole. Because, like, seriously, this guy was absolutely messed up. And so my friend was terrified. It was like, this guy, there was absolutely no reason for him to do this. It was all his fault. And this was the first time I ever experienced someone road rage. I didn't really, just rage in general, just road rage. He just went so overboard. Really, it was his fault. And it was nothing to get so angry about. What this is leading into is this discussion me and my mom had about bipolarness. And apparently on Oprah today, she had a big segment of bipolar. And with family problems that have been going on, definitely question some of our members about bipolarness. And so I've also questioned myself. I mean, but everyone, I think, has a touch of uncontrollable emotions that they just very animalistically act upon. Or we are animals. I mean, if you compare a wolf pack to a group of girls in a school, there's not much difference. It's kind of funny, actually, if you do that. I love sitting in a high school cafeteria and just watch everybody and just giggle because it's so predictable. Anyways, what this is getting at is about bipolar or just mental sicknesses in general. I was contemplating on, while me and my mom were talking about it on our walk today, and how drugs today are really causing a lot of problems because they're making our brain just kind of all jumbled up, and it's like a big cocktail full of chemicals. And I mean, if you start adding more chemicals, obviously there's going to be some type of reaction, unfortunately, at the expense of some family members at times, or at the expense of people who are innocently driving their cars. So what was I going to say? Oh, so I was also coming to the conclusion on this topic that, well, I attend a philosopher's cafe that is held in our city, and it's really cool. Definitely recommend starting up one if you have the networks in your area. But it's allowed me to expand my mind with locals, so not just me on YouTube, not knowing who you are, sending, messages and whatever, but actually connecting with people on a person-to-person basis. That's so brilliant. But one girl, actually, she's my age. She's pretty cool. I hope she goes next time, because, it's kind of hard to find girls who are willing to divulge their cool thoughts. But, she said, what did she say? She said an analogy that we are all just meat suits. And that's funny, because that's exactly what I feel. Never put it into that context before, but I feel we're a spirit that has been given this car or this meat suit to drive around in. And the consciousness of our spirit is what we are battling against. And I think that is exactly what everyone's working towards. Someone made a comment on my other video about everyone on YouTube is talking about global consciousness. It's a really big thing nowadays. Oh, crap. I've got to cut this off, man. But, yeah, okay, so I'm just going to wrap it up. What I kind of came to the conclusion is we're like a car. Our meat suit it's a meat suit, but we don't know how to drive it when we're we're learning everything. We've got to get control of our bodies. They're spinning out of control, and I think, hopefully, maybe by thinking and pondering about things like this, that I'm really stepping into who I am and noticing the differences and the similarities between humans and and watching and observing how everyone interacts with each other is really giving me a perspective on what this reality is and how the parallels between everything are just funny. Okay, this was a big long ramble. How about that? Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.